This is Mini News Update, your weekly review of all the latest news from the world of miniature wargaming and tabletop games. This update's for the week of September 13th through 19th. Let's take a look what's been going on. In the world of Games Workshop, last week they were leaked to the internet, and this week they're on the advanced orders page. Space Wolves. Everything's out there, so you can take a look at it in a little more detail if you go to the website. There's a few new releases for Imperial Guard. 2 tank crew. Not too crazy about the look of them, but it's kind of nice they came out with these models. Some accessory bits to detail your tanks, and some separate heads. Glad to see Games Workshop getting in the separate head business with so many other small companies filling a void Games Workshop is just now capitalizing on. Forge World had a couple of pretty cool releases this week that we'll show you. They have a set of weathering powders that can be used to detail your kits. Hadn't really seen them before, but they have a handy PDF you can download from the website to get an idea how to use them, and they suggest checking out their modeling book for more advanced techniques. But they also have a couple of great releases that would benefit from the weathering powders. First up for the works is the Orc Kill Crusher tank. This beast was designed by Darren Pearwood with the crew models designed by Mark Bedford. It's pretty impressive looking, but what caught my eye more was the Orc Mega Dread. This massive Orc Dread can be armed with either twin claws or twin big shooters, which are available separately from the main body, but it's impressive, and any Orc player I'm sure would love to get their hands on this one. Warlord Games has a few releases I'd like to highlight this week. First up, there's the command group for the pike and shot range they have. This is an English Civil War range, and I wasn't familiar with the plastic kit that the command group was for, so I checked it out, and I really liked what I had to see. The command group caught my attention, and the plastic troops really are phenomenal. They also had a release this week of Fire and Brimstone of 3 Holy Men figures to add to your pike and shot collection. From their bolt action range of World War II models, they have a German checkpoint. I'm not sure how useful it would be in game terms, but I just fell in love with it. I think it's a great looking piece and makes me think of watching Hogan's Heroes as a kid. And they also have a pretty unique couple of models that came out. Dead Livestock. This would be useful for really any gaming system if you wanted to have some dead animals lying around. Kraken Editions have recently released the English version of the rulebook for their game Alchemy for free. You can download the PDF from their website, and I suggest taking a look at it. It's a really good looking book, and the miniatures for Alchemy are phenomenal. It's a French company. I think they had some involvement with Rackham, and if you just take a look at the miniatures, they are just something to behold, painted superbly in the samples, and it's definitely worth taking a look at. If you're looking for elephants, this is the week for you. First Corps Miniatures has released elephants for their Macedonian successors. Bodies are cast in resin with metal tusks, but the crews are available to buy separately. Also this week, Aventine Miniatures has released Sassanid War Elephants. These ones are all metal, and include all crew and accessories. Critical Mass Games has some 15mm sci-fi releases. They have their second wave of Arc Fleet Foot Troops, and the much-awaited Arc Fleet Combat Walker, designed by John Barrett Ross. The Walker will be available in 4 variants. Looks great. Coruscant Miniatures has released the first wave of their 15mm sci-fi models for the Pelgic Dominant. These models have the rank and file, the Carcanine Sharkkind, and 3 variants of the Dominant's heavy weapon anti-grav vehicle, the Man of War. REFM has posted 2 new preview images for their upcoming USX miniatures, Fallout Girl and Fanboy. Reaper Miniatures recently updated their preview page with several new models. Let's take a look at a few of them. There's Kragmar, Dwarf Captain, sculpted by Tom Mason, a Dark Elf Warrior, sculpted by Bobby Jackson, Zenith, Superhero, Bob Rodolphe sculpted him, Afterburn, sculpted by Tom Mason, a Chupacabra, sculpted by Michael Brower, Moxie, Space Adventuress, sculpted by Tom Mason, and a familiar-looking space hero, sculpted by Glenn Harris. Avatars of War have released a preview image of a Minotaur they're working on. Looks great, and I love Minotaurs, so I'm looking forward to seeing that one come out. Fantazation Miniatures has a new upcoming release for the Rusted Heroes line. Taurus, Minotaur of the Maze. Kind of funny, 2 elephants, 2 Minotaurs this week, but I love Minotaur, so can't say I am not looking forward to him. Otherworld Miniatures has some greens that are getting ready to be cast. There's a pair of troglodytes, a chieftain and a shaman. Not a big fan of troglodytes, but some people are. There's Dinge, and it looks great. It's coming out of a pile of gold. It's a great looking model. There's a Hook Terror that I really like the look of. Nice beefy monster. And an Owlbear that looks like it's going to menace someone in the forest. Tab Miniatures has three creatures that are coming out that look pretty cool. There's a Chitinous Hound, a Mutant Centipede, and an Armored Larva. All these are sculpted by Mohand, multi-Golden Demon Award winner in Spain, and they look great. And finally an offering from Gribbly Miniatures. Lord Vilespawn, bearer of the Cauldron of Despair and marshal of the numberless legions of the pit, will be available on the 21st of September. This model stands 9 centimeters tall from the base to the tip of his mace, and includes a highly detailed resin 50mm square base. Well, that's it for this week, but before we go, we want to leave you with a couple of resources that you can use if you're interested in getting more mini news. Check out Tabletop Gaming News, the Miniatures page, or This Week in Wargaming. You'll find a wealth of resources out there when it comes to miniature news. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.